The final 11 cards for Age of Overlord are here. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Oh boy, so we're starting off here with Labrynth support on a normal trap card because, you know, this is exactly what we wanted to see, was another pretty good normal trap card. So you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. So you can target one Fusion, Synchro, Exceed, or Link monster on the field, by the way, so yours or your opponent's. Return that face-up monster to the extra deck, and you can special summon one appropriate monster from either graveyard to your field based on the type of monster returned. So if you return a fusion, you can special summon a monster with an attribute, or the same attribute as a monster return. If you do a synchro, a monster with less than levels equal to, or what was bounced. Exceed a monster with a level equal to the return monster's rank, which that one's going to be a little bit harder to generate. And then link a monster with the same type as the returned monster. I don't know why they wanted to give, spot removal built into a monster reborn, but this card, I think, is going to have some sort of application. Maybe not like the greatest in the world, but this is one of those things that you look at and you're like, wow, generic cards are busted. Now, the more in the fallen comrades of the Immortal Bushi, and this is actually by far one of the most interesting cards in the set. So continue spell card. All monsters in your graveyard are now warrior monsters. I can't currently think of any reason that this would actually matter, but it's interesting that we have this card now existing. And then once per turn during the end phase, you can destroy all monsters you control. Now, I can't think of any other application that this would matter yet again, but I think that this card is very, very interesting. I say that a lot, but I really do mean that this time. Next up is Invasive Alien Species, IAS. All right, well, this guy almost has IBS. So this thing cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects while there's a face-up card in your opponent's field zone. Alright? If there's a face-up card in your opponent's field zone, you can target one monster they control, destroy it, and this thing gets 1,000 attack points. And if there's a face-up card in your opponent's field zone, and this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. This card does a lot, alright? Like, honestly, as long as your opponent has a field spell face-up, they have to deal with this little invasive guy here because he's literally infesting the opponent's field, which I'll give it to them. On a 1600 that goes up to 2600, I think this card is like kind of good for like draft, but you'd still have to commit a normal summon to it in Modern Era Yu-Gi-Oh! And that itself isn't too good. But if there's a point that this comes up, you've got a 2600 monster that's going to be popping things running around. That seems pretty decent to me. The pan. I actually hope that this is translated. Yes, this is a pan that you're dropping on your opponent's monster. I kid you not. That's the level of ideas we're at right now. But this card's actually pretty hilarious. So just drop the bucket on them. So this is Tari. You can only use the effect of this card's name once per turn. So if this card is in your hand, you can target one face-up monster in the main monster zone that activated its effect on the field this turn. If you do, special summon this card to the zone that monster was in, and yeah, the monster gets destroyed. So actually pretty hilarious here at the end of the day for the little fun things that you can actually wrap up with this card. Overall though, it's a meme and a half, but you already know like the application and things that you're going to try to bring to the table with this because it is one of those hilarious little monsters at the end of the day. Next up is Card Scanner. Yeah, Card Trader gets an upgraded form here. I didn't expect to see this right now. Actually, Card Trader getting any sort of upgrade, but once per turn, you can declare one card type, monster, spawn, trap. Each player reveals the bottom card of the deck, and if they reveal a card of the declared type, add it to your hand, otherwise place it on the top of the deck. Yes, that inverse stacks it back on the top of the deck, which is pretty interesting, to say the least. And if this face-up card in its owner's spell and trap zone is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can make your opponent place one card from the hand on the bottom of the deck. Now, it's a spot removal out of the hand, which isn't too terrible, but to be honest with you, I like this card for draft format. you know, if you're going to play with your friends, this seems like one of those cards that you would play just to kind of spicing up, you know, your environment. What in the world? UFO Light? That's a level 8 on a 15/15. Alright, sure, you can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects except during the battle phase. I mean, I guess. If this card battles an opponent's monster, neither can be destroyed by battle, or by that battle. Huh. Seems like a discount illusionist monster at home. Oh no, it is an illusion monster. Oh, okay. And then during the end phase, you can draw one card, banish one or more cards from your hand, and you do. This gains 500 attack for each banished card. Huh. I didn't realize this was an illusion card. So it does appear that there were a few more little illusion cards kind of scattered across the set. I don't think that this card is, like, going to see any amount of play, but it's cool for pack filler. Now this card is good. I don't know what they were thinking when they made this, but this is Anti-GranMaju. So this is a spellcaster tuner effect monster. When you draw this card, you can reveal it and special summon it. Okay, well that's interesting. At the start of the battle phase, if you have more cards in your deck than your opponent does, this card gains attack equal to the current difference times 300. That's right. If you have more cards in your deck than your opponent, this card gains the difference. So if you play against somebody that goes down to 20 cards, for example, and you're playing 60, 35 times 3, this card's going to be really, really big. During the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there this turn, place it on the top of the deck. That way you can actually draw it on the next turn and then go ahead and re-special summon it. Am I going to see some sort of crazy play with this? Honestly, probably not. But it's once again one of those cards that you look at and you're like, you know, this actually exists. This could be good. Next up is treat yourself with the Oyasatsu Sumerahime. These are little snacks. What in the world? So this is a light plant effect monster. On a level 4, 1600 attack, 200 defense. Once per turn, when a card effect is activated that targets this card, or when this card is targeted for an attack quick effect, special summon an Oyasatsu token with 800 attack, 800 defense on a level 1. And once per turn, when your opponent would special summon a monster's quick effect, contribute one normal monster, negate that summon, and if you do, destroy that monster. That's, I don't really have much to say about this. Interesting card, that's for sure. Next up is Tao the Great Chanter. And this is actually really cool because this is one of the old illusion monsters getting a retrain here. And they're doing pretty good with, you know, remaking these old illusion monsters into something a little bit better. So this is a 1200, 900. If this card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed by that battle. So standard. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one illusion monster in your graveyard except for Tao the Great Chanter. Special summon in defense position, and you cannot special summon from the graveyard for the rest of this turn except for illusion monsters. I'm not particularly happy that they put the little soft lock on this, because this does interfere a little bit with the Chimera stuff, but to be honest with you, there does seem like a point that we will, you know, venture down the other line of things here for the probability of some other cards. Next up is try our luck with the Aurori no Kamigami. Once per turn, you can toss a coin until the result is tails. And if you do, draw one card for every 2 heads. You know, that's hilarious. Because imagine the RNG roll on this where you're like, hey, you want to watch me, you know, roll heads? Like, just draw my entire deck. I don't know what the variance is on that. That's a lot of heads. It's like 80 heads you're going to need there. And each time either player tosses a coin while this card is on the field, its attack becomes multiplied by the number of heads. That's actually kind of hilarious there. I don't know, like, how often that's actually going to come up, but, it's interesting. And then the last card here is Scapegoat. I kid you not, this is the little goblin guy running around, and then we have the little goblin with the little tokens here doing the thing. So when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a non-token monster you control, tribute one monster, special summon one escaped sheep token in defense position. And then if a non-token monster control is destroyed by battle card effect, you can destroy one of your other tokens instead. Interesting. So that's the wrap up here. We got some pretty decent Labyrinth support to call back to the World Legacy support line here. And, you know, I like what we're seeing. So please, comment down below to my favorite thing. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.